bullies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today I am checking out a suggestion I got from you guys to check out Sultan sketches. This is my school bully versus my childhood friend, animated story time. I wonder what's gonna be in store. Sorry, I do apologize, I got distracted because something amazing, a smell of amazing smell came through here. I wonder if my husband's making something or if he opened what I was cooking. I don't know, but it smells delicious. I'm excited. Anyways, I'm excited to see what this is about. My first thought from the title is that maybe this is a story about his friend fighting his school bully, or his school bully becoming his childhood friend, or his childhood friend becoming his school bully. One of those three. One of those three. I don't know. But link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started. Should we? Yes, we should. Alright, let's do it. Yeah? Alright, let's go. I'm gonna do this whole video in British. Yeah, alright.
I was bullied for most of my primary school life and I didn't even know about it.
Oh wow.
Let me explain.
I'm sorry.
Firstly, just to clarify to those who aren't aware, school life in Australia is divided into primary school, which is for kids between the age of 5 and 12 roughly, and then there's secondary school or high school, which is for kids who are aged 13 to 18.
That's different.
So this all took place during primary school.
Wait, hold on. Then what do they call what we would essentially call kindergarten? Because kindergarten for us is from elementary school, excuse me. Elementary school is from kindergarten to 5th grade in America, in the States. And then it's 6th to 13th. Wait, hold on. No, 6th to 8th. They got a lot of extra years here. 6th to 8th grade is middle school or junior high. Then you have 9th to 12th, which is high school. So they have 13th to 18th, which would essentially be like college years. They call that secondary. And then primary is what would essentially be from 5th grade to high school graduation in regards to equating to the States. That's unique. That's really unique. All right, back to the story.
The year before I started primary school, we had just moved into the new neighborhood and Mum had enrolled me into a kindergarten.
I like the crowns on their head.
When we got there, my mum recognized one of the other mums because she was our new neighbor and she brought me over so I could meet her son.
Okay.
Let's call him Deku.
Deku?
Now, obviously my memory from when I was 4 years old is a little vague, but I don't really recall ever playing or talking to Deku that much. We were at best 4-year-old acquaintances.
Oh, this
Apparently,
weather, am I
Deku
right?
and his mum used to come over all the time when we were younger, but I don't really have much memories of that.
Really?
I do remember one day when I was like 7, my mum told me that Deku was Asian, but I heard it as ancient.
Oh,
so
really?
For a while, I thought Deku came from the ruins. Anyway,
That's
rewind back to when primary school began.
Okay.
As a kid, I couldn't really say whether I was introverted or not, but I had my priorities. I loved playing Pokemon with my brother, I read a lot of books, especially anything about fantasy, and I loved making my parents proud. They were the only things I really ever cared about. So the first few years of primary school, I kept to myself. I didn't even try to make friends. I didn't think I needed them because what was the point? They wouldn't help me with my priorities.
You're different.
I can't believe this was my mindset at the age of 6.
I know, that's a very focused mindset.
During
to
class,
have that
I did all my classwork, and whenever I finished, I just asked for extra work, so I was always doing something. And during recess and lunch, I would either sit by myself playing on my Game Boy, or I'd go find my brother and play with him.
Aww. Look at
this worked for the first few years, but because my brother was 4 years older than I was, well, I guess he technically still is.
Yeah, he eventually probably would want
This
to
meant
do
that as
something.
soon as I was in the 3rd grade, he moved on to high school, and so I was left alone.
Okay. Which makes sense.
For the entire primary school experience, Deku was in most of my classes. A friendly nod when we made eye contact, hey, can I borrow a pencil? Or even walking home together when we bumped into each other.
Okay.
Those were what our interactions were limited to.
Okay.
Deku was a very popular kid and he had a lot of friends, and I wasn't really interested in having friends, so this exchange was perfect for both of us.
Yeah. Project
Now,
2018.
I can't recall how exactly it came to be, but in the 3rd grade I found myself becoming friends with 2 boys.
Okay.
Let's call them Alpha and Beta.
Oh, okay.
You'll see why soon.
I understand already.
I think we might have become friends over our mutual love for Pokemon, but that's not what's important here.
Pokemon?
As you can probably guess, Alpha was straight up.
Oh, wow.
He was the type of bully who was nice and quiet to everyone else, but when it came to his own friend circle, it was an entirely different story.
Really?
Alpha and Beta's favorite thing to do in school was to see how much they could push me and get away with it.
Really?
Which was always.
And they were friends?
They would try to exclude me from games or conversations as much as possible while still maintaining a friendship with me, so I would suffer even more.
Hey, Sultana, come sit with us.
They were rude.
What are you guys talking about? Hey, Beta, can you hear a roach? That is rude.
Arrogant and always used me for things. They would come up with stupid rules like, you can't play with us today if you have tips in your hair.
Really?
I used to tip dye my hair. Shut up, moving on.
Or
I
like the
you're
glass
in the game of tag, but you aren't allowed to run at all.
What?
Very, very stupid and petty things, but this was a daily occurrence.
That was...
I was also a huge nerd in primary school who always did his work and always answered questions in class.
I did too.
Every time I did, Alpha and Beta would either loudly snicker or say straight to my face that I was a nerd.
That's kind of rude.
By the way, being called a nerd back then wasn't exactly cool and hip like it is today.
Two-shoes, what a loser.
It was a legitimate insult.
Nerd. Well, I don't know how old this guy is, or I mean, he's in a different continent with the culture, not economics, the weather, the climate. That's what I mean. The culture, climate was there. I'm not really sure. For me, I was called a goody two-shoes. I didn't like that. I only had one person who was like a kid that would call me a loser. Only one person that had bullied me in 6th grade for whatever reason. But nerd, I don't know if I hated the word nerd or if I didn't like it, because I would raise my hand. I loved school. I had different reasons, which in a future time I'd let you guys know about. But I would have my reasons. But I loved school, and teacher's pet I've been called. And elementary, like I said, thinking back to elementary school, I don't really know how much that affected me. But goody two-shoes, I freaking hated being called goody two-shoes. I hate it now. Well, now do I? Well, I don't know. I don't really get it too much. Yeah, I hate it when people have that mindset. It's a lot more layered now. Calling someone a goody two-shoes, calling me a goody two-shoes is a lot more layered now. But nerd, I wouldn't say that I was really all that affected,
One I never quite understood, if I'm being honest. Like, yes, I am a nerd who wants a job and a stable future. Now what?
I mean, you could not.
I remember specifically there was this group of girls a year below us who we used to play tag with, and Alpha had a massive crush on one of the girls.
She was so cute.
And during playing tag, she would always try and tag me.
Oh, really? This
didn't go well with Alpha.
Instead of Alpha?
He accused me of being a bad friend and told me I wasn't allowed to play with them when they were with those girls.
Wow.
And just like that, I was once again excluded.
Oh my goodness. You can't tell me what to do, Ninja.
Pretty much anything I did or said, they would use it against me to make me feel excluded, worthless, and beneath them. I was that friend who was the staple for all the jokes and insults to be thrown at.
No.
Fun fact is, whenever Alpha wasn't at school, me and Beta got along great.
Really?
Or if Beta wasn't at school, Alpha was just that little bit nicer to me.
Really?
These guys were totally stereotypical bullies. And this lasted from the 3rd grade.
Doesn't make any sense.
All the way to the 6th.
So they just for 3 years?
Sixth grade.
I can't say it.
6
That's fine.
TH.
Oh, there's a lot of in my ear.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Sultan, if it lasted for so long, why did you stay being friends with them?
Yes, why did you?
Well, I didn't know any better. Remember that before these guys, I never really had friends before.
Okay.
I didn't know how friends were supposed to act, and this all felt normal to me.
So I get you being like, hey, I don't want
and insults.
You should be
my
grateful
poor
we're
child
letting
brain
hang
thought
out
all
with
of
us.
these things were normal.
Go get us food. You think she
and
would ever?
I think it was around the 3rd grade where.
Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, and you've seen me, how I am, when I watch other videos like this, y'all probably know the things I'm about to say. In fact, I want y'all to put some of the comments down below of, at that moment, what was AyChristene about to say? Go ahead, take your time. Okay, thank you. You're probably right. Depending on what you said, you're probably right. I just needed to take a breath because I was about to go off on these people. But you know what? I go off a lot, okay, in situations like this. So I'm pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a little bit in this video. But girl, talking about get us food. You think she would ever, girl. Okay, just relax. Relax. I want to say some stuff. You should be grateful we're letting you hang out with like this. Who is you? Okay, continue.
Where I started to fantasize about being a social person and actually having friends. So if the insults and abuse meant I could be in a friend circle, then it was worth it.
No, it's not.
Fast forward to the 6th grade, and our school had a sports excursion or something along those lines, and so most of the school was at this event, while those who didn't participate had to stay in school. This included me, Alpha, and Beta.
Oh, okay. I dyed my hair again.
Because of this, the school was pretty much empty.
Oh, they didn't go
Lunchtime rolls around, and as we were all walking outside to begin lunchtime, Deku comes up to me.
Oh, okay.
His regular friend group were all at the school event, and he was left behind, so he asked me if he could play with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Obviously, my timid self turned to get approval from Alpha. I couldn't just say yes without asking the boss man. But Alpha said yes straight away. Remember that Deku was part of the popular kids, and this seemed to excite Alpha and Beta.
Alright.
Anyway, as we started to play, the shenanigans started once again, only this time, they were extra worse.
Really?
Name calling, the creating of fake rules to disadvantage only me.
Goodness.
They were extra mean to me that day, and I think it was because they wanted to impress Deku, the popular kid. Like, ooh, look how mean and cool we are.
Look at us.
Deku, for the most part, I remember remained pretty quiet and frowned a lot.
Wow.
As we continued to play, I don't recall what exactly went down, but things escalated pretty quickly.
Really, what happened?
I think Alpha had just pushed me or called me something extremely offensive or something along those lines because I remember feeling extremely sad.
Oh no.
I think above all, I was embarrassed.
Yeah, because Deku's
Whenever
there.
I walked home with Deku, I used to speak so highly of Alpha and Beta and tell him how close we were as friends. I was proud to be their friend.
Oh wow.
And once Alpha began to bully me in front of Deku,
that's embarrassing.
I was ashamed and thought, now Deku can see I'm a fraud and I'm not as close to these guys as I said I was.
Oh dear.
But then,
that's not your fault.
Something happened.
What happened?
Something that would have an everlasting effect on me.
What happened?
Deku snapped.
Did he become Super Saiyan? Did you hear the music?
He started to yell at Alpha with so much anger in his voice.
That's good.
He began yelling things like, "You're a disgusting person, and why the hell are you treating Sultan like crap for?"
Thank you.
And the next thing he said,
what?
I remember so vividly.
What did he say?
He turned to me and he asked me, "Why do you just sit there and take it? You know you don't have to be their friend."
Exactly.
Right?
He said it a nicer way of all the stuff I wanted to say.
Something changed inside me. Deku grabbed my arm and yelled backwards at the boys that we aren't playing with you anymore.
Thank you.
I remember turning around and seeing Alpha and Beta just staring at us, looking shocked at what just happened.
I'm glad they did. He should have tripped them too. Want their face in the dirt. Sorry. Pull him back. Pull him back.
I turned around.
Okay. And then?
And I never looked back.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Now, you're probably thinking this is the part where I tell you that me and Deku went on to become great friends and I never heard from Alpha and Beta again, but this story goes a bit deeper than that.
What happened?
But I think I'll save it for another time.
Oh, okay. That sucks. A lot of the stuff that happened to him. And he was young, you know, so he didn't realize. And that's the thing. It is tough when you have someone that does get bullied and people are like, why didn't they just do it? Why didn't they just do it? Sometimes it's hard for you to conceive something that you didn't think of on your own because you think that this is a norm. If it's a bad norm for you, this is your normal. So to think that, oh, there's another way or there's something else I can do, that's not a regular thought that would occur. However, it will take some time. Sometimes it'll take somebody saying to you, dude, this isn't how it's supposed to be. You ain't gotta deal with this. You ain't gotta go through this. Excuse me. There's another way, and that can be enough to change, or maybe it might take a couple more times to say. Because if you think about it, if somebody's normally in a state where they're being picked on or abused, it's gonna be kind of tough to just one day be like, you know what, I don't want to be that anymore, and just leave it. Not saying it never happens, but it is tough, so you gotta think of that mindset. I did love the storytelling way. I was like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Way, I guess, the way he told the story. I did enjoy the animation style and how he drew everything. I like this, how it's like a different page type of thing. And to kind of, he had it outlined in black and white, or not black and white, just black and brown. And then he would color everything in, and the coloring was like sketch coloring, like with pencil or marker. So I really, really enjoyed the style, his style in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What did this video do for you? Do you know somebody in this situation, or does it remind you of something? If you like the video, check out the link in the description box below. If you like this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell. I love you guys as always. And until